Morning, everyone. If you haven't heard, the school board voted to end the school year on the 13th. So we've got some topics to cover. So we're going to be bouncing along. I would have liked to spend a couple days on the quadratic formula, but we're going to have to cut that a little short to get into the next topic, which is sequences. I think you'll find this relatively easy, and actually, for those of you that have like minds that like to work puzzles and find patterns, I think you'll kind of like this. All right, we got two different kinds of sequences that we're going to be looking at. One's called arithmetic and one's called geometric. All right, here's two different patterns written below here. All right, look at the first one. 2, 4, 6. If I ask you to keep up this sequence, I think most of you would see 2, 4, 6. The next one's going to be 8. It's obvious we're adding 2 to each one. The next one's going to be 10. The next one's going to be 12. All right. This is called an arithmetic. Arithmetic formula. All right. Right? When you have an arithmetic formula, what you're dealing with is common difference. And the common difference of this, let me write this down, common difference equals 2. That means each time we're going to add 2. All right, look at this one on the bottom. It's a little different. 2, 4, 8. All right. We're not adding 2 each time. Something different's going on. We're multiplying by 2. 2 times 2 is 4. 4 times 2 is 8. So 8 times 2 is going to be 16. 16 times 2 is going to be 32. All right. This one is geometric. All right. Geometric is different. There's not a common difference. There's a common ratio. And the common ratio of this is 2. Basically, each term is doubled in the sequence. All right, I'm going to work through about 4 problems here, and I think that'll be enough for you to catch on to what's going on with this. Here you have a sequence. All right, most sequences, they'll just give you 3 numbers. Some will give you more, but most of them will just give you 3 numbers. And in that 3 numbers, you need to pick out first if it's arithmetic, where you're just adding a number each time, or geometric, where you're multiplying a number each time. All right, let's look at this one. 2, 7, 12. All right, I notice that the difference between 2 and 7 is going to be 5. I added 5. Then I look at the difference between 7 and 12. It's also going to be 5. All right, so I know that I'm adding 5 each time. If I do that, if I wanted to keep going with this, this would be 17, 22, 27. I can go on forever like this. ... So this one I'm adding 5. So I know that this one is arithmetic. And I know that the common difference, okay, the common difference equals 5. That's the answer. So on Delta Math, they're just going to ask you to enter a number, and the number you would enter for this would be a 5. All right, here's our next sequence. All right, looking at this one, I've got 15, 5, then negative 5. All right, let me check the difference first. All right, 15 to 5 is going to be a negative 10. You will have added negative 10 to 15 to get 5. Okay, let's check it on this next one. 5 to negative 5, that's also negative 10. All right, so if we were going to go again, another negative 10, the next in the sequence would be negative 15. So we just keep adding negative 10 or subtracting 10, however you want to look at it. So for this one, it's going to be arithmetic, and the common difference. It's not ratio, it's difference on this one because it's arithmetic, is negative 10. If you put in 10 into Delta Math, you'll be wrong. You have to put negative 10. All right, here's problem number 3. All right, so what I always do is first thing I always do is get a calculator, or just if I can do it in my head, is to check the difference. From 20 to 40 is going to be 20, right? Then I check the difference of the second one. 40 to 80 is going to be 40. So this one is not arithmetic. That means we're not going to be adding something each time. We're going to be multiplying. So I know that this one is going to be geometric. And when it's geometric, we have a ratio. All right? So looking at this one pretty much is you just divide. 40 divided by 20 is going to be 2. 80 divided by 40 is going to be 2. So now I just start doing, multiply 80 times 2, I get 160. 2 again gives me 380. So my ratio on this one, each time for this sequence, I'm going to multiply by 2. That makes my ratio 2. All right, here's problem number 4. All right, real quick looking at this, you can tell that it's not going to be addition. Negative 3 to 9 is going to be add 12. 9 to negative 27, you're going in the opposite direction. There's no way that this could be arithmetic. This is going to be geometric. There's going to be a number that you're going to multiply these by. And I'll let you know a little tip. When they alternate negative and positive, it's always the ratio is going to be a negative number. All right, let's look at this one. What do we have to multiply negative 3 by to make it 9? And the answer is going to be negative 3. All right, negative 3 times negative 3 gives us positive 9. Let's see if it works again. 9 times negative 3 is going to give us negative 27. All right, so the next one would be, in this sequence, if you were asked to keep going with the sequence, negative 3 times 27 is going to give you positive 81. All right, so the answer to this question is going to be the ratio equals negative 3. All right, I'm going to do a couple problems really quick. I was going to do only 4, but I want to give you all two more examples. Let's look at this. Look at the first one, 11, 4, negative 3. All right, I'm going to check the difference first just to see. 11 to 4, that means I'm going to have to add negative 7. And let's see, 4 to negative 3, again, I'm going to be adding negative 7. So I've got a pattern. Add negative 7 to the, I subtracted 7, minus 7, minus 7. I subtract 7 again, and I'm going to end up, the next one's going to be minus 10. So I can see that the pattern on this one is a difference. It's arithmetic, it's a difference, and it equals negative 7. All right, looking at the next one, I see the jumps are too big. The difference between negative 1 and 7 is going to be, there's just too big a difference between these two. I don't even have to do the math. I can tell that I'm just not going to be adding. This is going to be multiplication. So let's see. What am I going to have to do to negative 1, multiply it by to get 7? I'm going to have to multiply it by negative 7. All right? let's see, 7 times negative 7 equals negative 49. All right? So I had to multiply this by negative 7. And then I had to multiply this by negative 7. So this is geometric. Geometric is ratio. And just like the problem above it, the answer is negative 7. All right, I think you'll find these fairly easy. If you got any questions, email me, text me, anything you want to do. I think this one is due by Friday night to get the full credit. As you can tell from everything I've been doing, is you've got 3 tiers. If you want full credit, you got 4 or 5 days. If you 80%, you got another 4 or 5 days. And then if you just you're fine with just getting a 60, you can wait weeks. I would suggest you get to this, especially with one that's as easy as this assignment. Guys, have a good week. Be checking your emails from me. My next assignment will be on Thursday.